guys, it's PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor, and I hope that you had a great week. Now, my week has been long, after the holidays, and I know we're a little bit in after the holidays, but it's finally starting to catch up where I'm just like, oh my God, I need a break. So it's been a long week, but God is good and He's faithful. And we have worked this week down, and we are at Friday. And I know, just like you, I'm excited, excited, excited. And I'm excited to share my series, Greatest Story Ever Told. I know we're still doing this series, but I told you it would run into the new year because here's the thing. What we do at the beginning will set the stage for the rest of the year. So if we are focused in on that greatest story ever told, we live our purpose with joy and peace and understanding that as long as we have the faith to trust, to believe that God will show up and show out. Again, this is my series, Greatest Story Ever Told, and this one is called Your Relationship Means. Now, my first point was talking about loyalty minus your hangups. What that just simply means, excuse me, and I'm going to use myself for an example. Loyalty for me means in a relationship staying way too long, dealing with things that I should not deal with, knowing it's like over, but because I don't want to feel the loss of leaving the relationship, I stay. And that comes from my abandonment and rejection issues, okay? And then on top of that, I give, and not necessarily get back the equal of what I give. Now, I know in all relationships, we don't necessarily get back what we give. But when you give, you're supposed to do it with a heart of love, and with a, hey, this is going to bring that person joy. But for me, I wasn't necessarily doing it for that. I was doing it to be accepted, even though in the back of my mind, I tell myself, hey, I don't have to have anybody. I don't need to do this, that, and the other to keep somebody in my life. But then at the end of the thing, then I start feeling all like I should have done something sooner knowing it was over. So I'm telling you to be loyal to your relationships, but let it be minus your personal hangups. And those reasons shouldn't make you stay in a place that you know is not good for you. Okay, point number 2, choose your battles. What you can live with or not live with. Now, this is huge because every little thing that maybe you might mention something to somebody that you know, and they'd be like, oh no, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't deal with that. But you have to understand that maybe their tolerance in that area is a little bit different than yours. And so maybe they wouldn't stay. But if it's working for you, if you don't feel like your integrity is compromised, you don't feel less than, but it brings your heart joy, then continue on. I mean, don't let somebody tell you what they're not doing affect how you run your relationships. And in the midst of learning that person in that relationship, give both yourself some grace. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning, relationships take time to build. I'm not always the most patient person, and I want to know people's intentions up front. But just because I'm honest up front, that doesn't mean that that person is honest up front. And what I mean by that is I like to put all my stuff out there. I like for you to know. So later on you can't say, well, this changed or that changed, but people can lie and they still do that. But generally I'm honest and I'm up front. Well, everybody else don't feel that same kind of way that I do about things, and so they hold off on stuff, and then they kind of wait until you have feelings for them to spring stuff on you that's not necessarily cool. And then they take away your ability at that point to walk away as quickly or as easily as you should have in the beginning if they had been honest about that thing. So my advice would always be, hey, even if it means on the onset that you can't have somebody be honest. And I mean, I'm just talking about in any kind of relationship or friendship. Don't make people become your friend or be in your life under false pretenses. That's not right. That's not fair. Point number 3, evaluate what you can give and what is given to you. Because what somebody else may need may not be what you need, but ask them. I prefer to ask somebody what it is that they need. I don't like to have to guess. I don't like to have to jump through hoops or try to figure out, what you need or don't need. Or if what I do or said, may step on your toes and then now I got to walk on eggshells. I hate all of that craziness. I'm not a big proponent of having to confront throughout my whole relationship with you. Just, that's not cool, it's not attractive, and I don't want to have to pull things out of you. So just if for me and just for yourself, put your stuff, like I said before, out there on the table. And if somebody accepts it and still want to be friends with you or be in a love relationship with you, then you've got a prize. You know what I'm saying? You've got something to hold on to. But don't let it be, like I said again, under false pretenses. Point number 4, what are your common interests do you share? Make sure there are some things that will sustain you in that relationship, because if it's all about the other person, then that's not really going to fly, because it might be okay right now, but on down the road, it's going to get really old really quick, okay? So make sure you have some things that, you both can talk about, you both can feel good about, you both can maybe, hey, we don't like that, so we're not dealing with that. So one doesn't feel left out on this island by themselves over here. Now, I know that you learn those things and you adjust to those things. Those things are not always necessarily telling you, hey, let's put all that on the table, because sometimes until a situation, finds you, you won't necessarily know or remember how that made you feel on the onset of, becoming friends or being in a love relationship with somebody. Number 5, do what you said you will do. If you give somebody your word, oh my gosh, stand by your word. I mean, this lying in order to get what you need and to, and to manipulate somebody, oh my God, we're not children. That's old, okay? That is really old, and it drives me up a wall, okay? I'm just saying, if we show up honestly and give the other person the ability to, adjust themselves, how much greater the relationship would be, and we wouldn't always have to be struggling. It wouldn't always be this confrontation. It wouldn't always be, oh my God, I'm having to argue with you about something, okay? Point number 6, learn how to show up in a way that is recognizable to the other person. Like I said earlier, just because it's for you, that doesn't mean the person that you're in a relationship with likes it that way. I know for me, I like quality time. That is one of my, that's my ultimate love language. Well, my partner theirs might be words of affirmation. So I have to find out a way to make sure that they hear my heart through my words. Just like I would hope that they understand that it's not always about buying me stuff. I'm not saying I don't like gifts, but I mean, I can buy my own stuff. But the time you put in, and then not only the time you put in, but that when we are together, the conversation, the feel of the atmosphere, what I'm saying, I love that if it's working properly. But if I need to be if I got to be in contention with you, or if I feel uncomfortable, or if I feel like I can't say what I need to say, now I'm that's not quality for me. So you have to learn what that other person needs and wants in order to feel good about sustaining a relationship with you. And finally, point number 7, do not wear yourself thin. Be focused on the relationship at hand. Now, sometimes you have to do other things and you have to be in other places, but that primary relationship or friendship, put the time in. Check on that person. show up for them when they need you to show up. Now, I'm not saying that you can make them happy, because happiness belongs in the hand of the person who is living and breathing. But you can bring them joy. You can give them peace, because they can understand that, hey, this person really gets me. They have my back, and I don't necessarily have to worry about this, that, and the other. And then when I'm with them, things just kind of flow. And we are able to sustain this relationship, because we both understand that though we may not be the same, and we have our differences and we have flaws, but that other person loves me anyway. Okay? So now that was all of my points on your relationship means. Now, I have to tell you this. Your girl is merging her Young Living business with her passion, which is writing and speaking. And this week we were working with the oil cedarwood. And guys, I am just trying to educate you as I go along. Now, I bought this cedarwood with no real purpose in mind, just the fact that it was on sale and I didn't have this oil. But now it helps combat hair loss, skin problems, and it helps with ADHD. Now, I'm sure that there are more things that this little bottle of oil can help you with, but those are the things that I pulled out. And like I said, I bought it because it was on sale and I didn't have this one, okay? Now, I would not be doing my due diligence if I didn't tell you the titles of my book. So the first one is You Are God's Love Story. The second one is Daddy, You Can Hold My Hand. And the third one is Ordinary Princess. And all three of my books can be obtained online through Lulu, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Books A Million. Okay? And the scripture I work with this week is Colossians 3:23, which reads, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord as a reward. Because when we show up, we want to know that we are doing it because God asks us to. And then we have peace, we have joy, we have an understanding that will surpass what the world shows us and what they assume about us, because we know that we're doing it for the one who created us and who ultimately loves us the most without conditions, and that is our God. Okay, I want to leave you with this question. What is your non-negotiables as you build a relationship? Hey guys, this is PM Mathis, your global indie author distributor. And as always, 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 I want you to what? Be blessed. Okay guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.